A great pleasure this morning to introduce this gentleman. That's what is a gentleman. Ant Crolla, ex-world champion, massive United fan. Absolute pleasure to have you here, Ant.
Thanks, mate. Good to be here with you boys on this nice morning.
His support for United amongst the United following is legendary. So, Anthony, welcome.
Thank you, mate.
Now we're going to start at the beginning, and I know a lot about your career. I've seen you boxing, and at the end of the day, I used to do a bit of boxing when I was a kid. Yeah. But Manchester United was my first love.
Yeah.
So, torn between United and boxing. How old was you, Anthony, when you first got into boxing?
When I first got into boxing, my dad was an ex-professional boxer. So when he had some keys to the gym and stuff like that, he'd help out a little bit there. And I just get dragged along with him because there's no one to mind me really. But I mean, I loved it anyway. I was into all sports and stuff like that. So I was probably only about 8 or 9. About 8 I was. And I'd go there, but you just pick up the basics, you know, sort of being around it. Like I say, I was one of those sporty kids who showed an interest in all sports. And anyway, my dad's work hours changed. He started doing more overtime stuff, so he stopped going. But I remember just before he was 11, I remember when he was 11, you could compete. So I remember about a month before my 11th birthday, I decided I wanted to box again. I played football like most young lads and done a bit of cross country and stuff like that, but I thought, oh, you know what, I'd go back to boxing. And went back just before I was 11, and within a matter of months, I was having, you know, my first amateur contest because I'd picked it up very quick because I sort of had the basics drilled into me.
Yeah. Well, as a father figure or?
Yeah, I think not like, my dad was never ever one of those pushy dads ever. No. He was never like, you know, do this, do that, but I think I just picked it up being around him, boxing on the TV. Like say, being in the gym, I remember my dad used to have like a set of keys, and sometimes on a Sunday, a bit of the family would go, a few of my cousins, I'd beat my cousins up in there and stuff like that. And that was it. Like I'd picked up, so within a few months I was fighting, you know, fighting very quick, competing very quickly, really.
I remember doing boxing when I was a kid, but I did it in an ex-army geezer's house.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was in there is because he had 4 daughters.
Yes.
So I used to go in there and he used to leather me, right? But I used to put up with it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and his son was like a boxing champion.
Yeah.
But I was always nervous going in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to box.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? But there was four girls in the house, you know what I mean? And it was like, young lad, you want to go get in there? And I always like, Jesus, you know, bit of boxing. And I was never happy with it, do you know what I mean? Being battered or trying to punch or whatever.
Yeah.
I was always nervous. Did you, coming up to you, like, knowing that you was going to fight and that, you know?
Yeah, early on, yeah, definitely sort of nervous at times. I probably got more nervous as an amateur than what I did as a professional. I probably got more nervous at fighting in front of a Labour club, a working men's club, than I did in front of an arena. It was mad. So obviously, it comes with experience, but I remember sort of, I wouldn't say it was thrown at the deep end, but it was in a way. It was, you know, the gym was in Ancoats there.
Most kids are thrown in at the deep end, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's a bit sink or swim.
It's like swimming.
Yeah.
Like, in you go, go and learn to swim.
Sink or swim, and you know, you'd be with a few of the older lads and stuff like that. Yeah. And a bit like sort of with the gym. I mean, Jimmy Lewis is a great man, but sometimes at some point it was sort of like only the strong survive sort of thing. Yeah, and there'd be some lads who was all right on the bags pads, but then they got hit and they didn't want to know, you know, it wasn't for them. And it's not nice getting hit on the nose, is it? Like, I remember the first time I ever sparred. I was 11, like just turned 11. I sparred with a lad a few years older than me, a lot more, you know, experienced than me. But, and to be fair, he didn't take it easy on me like that, but I remember like landing 1 or 2 good shots, and I went home, although my nose was fat, I was buzzing, do you know what I mean? And I couldn't wait to get back in there. And like, in time, I returned the favour, do you know what I mean? But like, I was made up on the, you know, I thought, oh, I had a buzz off it. Like, even though my nose was, you know, all swollen and stuff like that, I'd got the bug there and then. And I've seen so many kids in the gym where you think, oh, they're going to be all right, but then they get hit and the knee might come up, or, do you know, they don't like it. And listen, you can't blame me. It's not, getting punched on the nose isn't a nice thing.
Just going, obviously, we're going to come back to boxing later on, but you love for United, aren't you? You know, like me and Tony and yourself, we've all grew up loving United.
Yeah.
You remember your first match? You remember actually who said to you, listen, this is Manchester United, this is the team you're going to support?
It's mad. Like, my dad he's not a massive fan, he's not a Manchester United fan, my dad. So I got it from my nana, my nana Pauline.
If he's not a Manchester United fan, what is he?
Right, well...
No, come on. Come on.
He's one of them.
He's
one of them, innit?
You're not saying he's a Liverpool fan.
No, bloody hell. And, but it was like the family was split right down the middle. And I'd got it from my nana Pauline. She was mad, God bless her. I mean, she passed away 23 years ago. But like, I was with her an awful lot, and I've never known a red like her. She was mad, my nana, absolutely mad. She'd go to church on a Saturday lighting candles for the players. Like, mad, like, do you know what I mean? And so...
Like it was a life.
Totally, like, do you know what I mean? And if the boys didn't perform or they didn't win, she'd be down, and she'd, like, obsessed.
Like we are.
She'd have, woman, 40s, 50s, walking around a United shirt. It's mad. Like, she was United through and through, and so obviously I got that from my nana, but it was my dad's mate who took me to my first game. I always remember it was 5-0 against Coventry in, I should know the season.
93.
I was going to say, 92, 93. 5-0. I think Eric scored a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, and Giggs won the first goal. I think
he did. That was the first goal. And I remember just like, but obviously...
Sharpie scored as well.
Yeah, I think he did. Derwin scored, I don't know, but
Derwin scored,
Anyway, I remember being there, and when that first thing when you walk up the steps and you look out, and you sort of see it, and I was just like, wow, do you know? Yeah. But obviously, I'd watched United on the telly, but being there, I remember sort of United, I think.
How old was it?
It must have been, well, it was did you say it was 92, 93?
93, yeah.
Yeah, 93, so. Yeah, I remember it was in year 2 or year, about 7.
Yeah, fantastic, yeah.
So.
It's, what you're describing there, walking to getting up the steps, I have seen that many kids. I love it, mate.
That feeling you see
out of anything, seeing the kids come for the first game, and I've seen many of them when I used to be up at the top of the road there, and I used to see them come round with the mum or the dad,
excitement
and they'd be running.
You want getting at 12 o'clock, don't you? They're banging on the stairs.
And they'd be running, and it's the excitement. But it's that feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's nothing like it, honestly.
Compared to your first fight. Walking up the steps in there, and there's nothing like it.
How's it compare? Very different, because I remember like my first amateur contest. It was at I'll tell you what it was. Abbey Working Men's Club.
Got a few in there.
Yeah. And it was in there. It's not there no more, is it?
No, a lot of them have gone.
And remember it, and the smoking ban. Don't forget you in there. I remember just.
Borrowed some
boots. Yeah, I borrowed some boots off my mate from the gym who was fighting the same night, and I remember just like going out. I remember just thinking, so nervous. Do you know what I mean? So nervous, not knowing what was going on. I remember looking across the ring, and my opponent, he had a robe on and he had shorts on and that, and I was thinking, oh, I've got a towel over my neck. I borrowed the boots.
The North Council House kid against the Silver Spoon. Here we go.
So
they got you there.
But I remember like that kind of nerves compared to, that it's a different. That's just excitement.
Is that police helicopter for you?
I hope not, mate. I hope not. But just the excitement of it all. But the two, when I think back, when you mention it like that, two of the greatest memories. For sort of different reasons, probably in my life, it was my childhood, childhood, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, well, I'll never forget that feeling, what you've expressed, you know what I mean? But your football...
Ours was a lot of years earlier than
that. But like here, when I first went, it's like, it was just like unbelievable, and I think any football fan go at the first game, it's not just Manchester United, but it's just, I just cannot explain the bug, what got me.
Yeah.
But you had two. You had a conflict. You had the boxing and your football.
Yeah.
How did you
But do you know?
I had to go to every game.
Yeah.
When I first went, I had to go to every game. I don't know about you, Webby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing stopped me.
Yeah.
You know.
It's probably the same, but obviously there's that fine line where Ant's going to have to go.
Yeah.
It's either boxing if I'm going to take it serious, or be with the lads and go to the match. And
that was
but that's discipline as well.
But we never had.
No.
That was it. Do you know, for years, when I was obviously at 7, I couldn't be going to the match, but I'd get to touch to as many as I could and stuff like that. But even like with the lads sort of early on in my career, there's so many games where I couldn't go because it was my job really. I had to train. I couldn't, be going on away, stopping overnight at times and stuff like that. And that was it. But it was hard. I always probably went to more games than I should have done really. And even when I was fighting, there was times when I should have stayed at home, should have rested.
We've all.
You can't, because it's just the norm, isn't it? It's just, you think, no, I'll go there, and do you know what I mean? You forget about everything for a few hours, don't you?
Yeah, well,
you forget about everything for a few hours,
It takes you away from everything.
And then you come home, you're knackered again, and it's thinking, probably should have just stayed at home and rested. Do you know what I mean? But that's how it is, and you wouldn't have it any other way, really.
What we're in here is now a situation like with the coronavirus, and you're boxing, you're fighting. Now, I know crowds and that, they inspire you and all that, or if they're quiet, they don't inspire you and all that. Have you watched any of this football?
Do you know what? I'll be honest, I've watched little bits of it, and it's an hard watch. It's a bit of it, and it just seems too much training ground stuff, and it's just, and this isn't me being bitter or anything like that, but I just think, what they say, football without fans, it's just not football, is it? And that's what
you brought up.
Yeah, and sort of, that's what I mean we've just been mentioning it now, like that first time when a kid walks through, feels the atmosphere and stuff like that,
that's what you want.
That's what you want, what you want, that passion and stuff like that.
It's like now, lads, it's like, obviously, football's on the verge of coming back, hopefully, in the Premiership. And other sports like the boxing, what would it be like, Ant, for a boxer to come in for a big fight with no crowd there? What would it feel like? Because obviously you'll get your own fans there. How would that feel on as a boxer?
I've been asked this, and then you get some people who go, oh, once the bell goes, it's a fight, and I go, nah, that's rubbish. I'm just not having that.
You must be able to wear things, you try and mentally block them out.
Some people feed off that. Some people feed off that.
United are playing at home. Well, the crowd gives you a
Totally.
A 1-goal start.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Which many teams will feel like.
And it's like, so with the boxing, I'm like, I know there's times, and certainly me, you know, the crowd will be behind you, and you raise your game, you'd raise your game, and when things got hard, you know, you'd bite down on that gum shield. So it will be, listen, I don't believe it'll affect, like, say, football, but there'll be so many fighters, I've said this, who, you know, who won't perform because of a lack of atmosphere. And also, there might be those fighters in the gym who, and I've seen it, I've seen world champions in the gym, but it comes to becoming, you know, performing under the lights, and they can't do it. They can't do it, whether it be nerves, the pressure, just all that. And it'll work for someone like that because although there's people there and you're on camera still, there's not the same intensity. But that's what I think. For a bit back, I was thinking, I just want some live sport. But then, since I've seen this football, and I know they're only trying to do it, and you could say, oh, you know, it gives people something to watch, but it just doesn't do out for me whatsoever.
Now,
a
lot of people don't know, but Anthony's gym burnt down, and it's like a mill, and it housed other things as well.
Yeah,
but
it did,
Your whole life, right, is centred on boxing, but it's just been completely destroyed. So, for people out there who don't know, just explain to us where you was boxing and what's happened.
So throughout, like, my professional career, at some point in my professional career, I was actually training at Morton Mill. Yeah. And then I was moved with Joe Gallagher, I was training Bolton, but my amateur club was in Morton Mill, and from me turning professional at the age of 19, sort of to this day, I've always stayed going to my amateur club a few nights a week, helping out, and people will go, oh, you know, it's nice to give back, but I'll be honest as well, it's like, I get a lot out of it. I love, you know, I love seeing a kid walk in the gym. There was a few months back, we was dead busy and like we hate turning kids away, but we get that pat sometimes. There'll be a bit of a waiting list, and one of my mates rings me and he goes, "Oh, Crolla says, you know, my nephew, he's a lovely kid, but we're worried about him at school and this and that. You know, he's so quiet, he's just dead within himself. And anyway, you know, I'd love to bring him boxing." And straight away you'd think, boxing's not going to be for him. He was dead, you know, sort of sheepish and stuff like that. And you know, when you're heading, you're thinking, oh, this ain't going to work for this kid, you know. And I've never been so happy to see. I watched him and then he was a bit of a natural, you know, just something you'd never expect. And then you see him now, and now he's having he's having contests and stuff like. Yeah. He's took to it so
totally
quick.
Different kid.
And you know, I watch him walk in the gym now. Oh, it's without a doubt, and that's what his parents say. They go, "We'll never be able to thank you all enough." And he comes in now, and he'll have the crack with the lads and stuff. When he like first come in, he was just dead sheepish. He's a different lad now, and they're saying like school have been on, and it's just, and like that for me, no matter, he's a good little boxer, so he will do okay, but. If he never boxes or doesn't, you know,
it's brought him on.
That's been like his world title with the gym. So obviously that happened. I think it happened bloody a week or two into lockdown.
How did you get told that your gym, the mill, was on fire? But not on fire, Anthony. It was like a blaze.
So what happened? I tell you, it was when the clocks went forward, and soon you'll know. I'm not like a big drinker or anything like that. And the night before, and again, I literally had 3 bottles, and there's something in those ales. Do you know those proper ales?
Yeah.
Like where anyway. Remember after 1 or 2, my head was like that, and it was off Scott. Right. They'd done their own one. Yeah, you know, Owen and Scott. They'd done their own like ale. So I've just had something to chill out. Anyway, I was like, wow. After a bottle or 2, do you know? So went to bed, and I'm not one of them who normally stays in bed. But with the hour or something, it's about 10:30. I woke up going, looked at my phone. I'm not joking, I must have had like 60 odd missed calls, load of messages. And straight away you think bad news, don't you? And you think, and straight away I thought someone passed away. That's what I thought. And I'd seen things and I'm like, oh no, who's it gonna be? And I'm reading something, and my little brother, I seen a message off him going, and I think the gym's on fire, you know. I think the gym's been set on fire. It's on, the building's on fire.
Well, the building's on fire.
Yeah, the building's on fire. And as I'm there, my mate who's got the gym next door, who had a Thai boxing gym next door, rang me and I've gone, "Pub, you okay, mate?" I'm even the gym's on fire. He goes, "I'm here now, mate. I've been here since, 7, 8 o'clock this morning." He went, I'm going, "How bad is it?" He goes, "Oh, it's to the ground." And I was like, wow, I remember I threw my clothes on straight to the gym. As I got there, I'm just like, oh my God,
all lit up.
It's just all lit up, and I'm seeing pictures of them. I couldn't process it, and I'm thinking, in my head I'm thinking, what's going on here? Yeah. I kept rubbing my eyes thinking, wait, what's going on? Anyway, you go there and it's hard because I had memories from training there as a kid, early as professional. The kids, a load of them are upset and stuff like that, and I couldn't get my head around it. I could not get my head around it, and it's and do you know what I remember?
It's
memories, and you'll always remember those memories. And listen, we lost a lot, and you lose a lot sort of financially and stuff like that. But I just sort of got to remember, listen, money comes and goes, and what I remember one of my mates, one of my best pals, rang me and he went, it was good really. It was like, no, he wasn't tough thingy, but he says, Crolla says, you've got to remember, he said, you're one of the lucky ones. And I thought, don't feel too lucky now. And he goes, but you'll get a lot of help, it's for the kids, and you'll have people and you're going to put on charity days, nights, whatever, and you'll end up getting the gym back, and in the end, you'll have your own place and it'll be better than ever.
It'll be yours.
Yeah, and that's what we're working on now, actually. Yeah. But then, like my mate who I mentioned there next door, he was a Thai boxer, and he'd give his life to that sport, and the rewards of that aren't great, but he'd just done the gym how he wanted, he was earning a wage and stuff like that, and his old, what might have not been much to people like, but tie belts and European titles and stuff.
Even pictures on the wall, you know,
pictures you'll never get back. And it was his whole livelihood, even to the point where
was nothing saved.
Nothing, not a thing, mate, not a thing. Oh, they was putting it out for days.
Yeah.
They was putting it out. It was like in the gym there was, so on the road there was a weights gym, a Thai boxing gym, and us, and then another gym actually on the top. And then there's a few studios below that, and then there's a few little businesses. I think there was a sign business, there was something else. So there was a lot in the mill.
When we filmed it, it was like, you could feel what was in there.
Yeah.
And we actually met the bloke. He's got a business down there. He owned it.
Right. Yes.
He owned it. And,
yeah.
Nice fella. And we spoke to him, and he spoke really highly of you, which everyone does anyway.
Nice one.
So he was telling us about the kids and what the gym was. You know what I mean?
I can imagine, as knowing you, is that probably the first thing that come to your mind was not about yourself, was about where these kids are going to start.
Yeah,
that's the type of lad you are, and I know with what you're saying that sometimes good things come out of bad things, and I know in a few months' time, whether it's 2 months or 4 months or 8 months, that these kids will be back in a gym doing what they love with you around.
That was it, and that's the most important thing. And with the kids, it was going really well. You know, it was going really well. Things was coming together good, like from the coaching team, or the lads who was coming through, and even the girls side of the sport. That's flying now, but it's with them and with them, they was all devastated, and I just had to say, listen, we'll get. You know, you just have to reassure him. Reassure him.
But you can be reassured because the thing is, you was reassured straight away by your pal.
Of course, that's it, and that's
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He took you out of that downer, and it's like,
it's
hang on
a bit like, nah, pick yourself up, pick yourself up, and
you'll have plenty of friends,
of course,
and whatever. But touching on the friend subject, you've got a friend, Rooney, hey, the boxer.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you can look at great footballer.
Yeah.
We've seen you with Rooney on the pitch down there, going round and all that. How did that relationship from a footballing point come? Because you'd have mixed the two. Because he likes his boxing.
Yeah, and that's... Well, Wayne comes from a family of boxers.
Yeah.
His uncle used to have a gym in Liverpool. Yeah, it was Croxteth, wasn't it? And so he's from like... And he was always, you know, a big boxing fan and stuff like that. And then... He's friends with the Smith brothers.
Right.
And I remember one fight, he sent the message, you know, to one of the brothers to pass on to me, and I was like, you know, telling him well done, you know, we was watching him in the hotel. Meant the world to me.
Yeah, of course
it meant the world to me, you know, like the lads was the night before a game.
Wayne Rooney, Manchester United.
Yeah, legend. I was like, wow, what do you know what they doing watching me?
But that's how I see you would react.
Cool, I was genuinely like, wow,
you're still feet on the ground, you're a local lad, bang, that's how you are. And like, hey, it's the great Wayne Rooney,
United fan, yeah, of course.
But you was the great hand Crolla to him.
No, and then I'd spoke to him a little bit at the, you know, the Players Awards, which I've been invited to and stuff like that, and it was great like that. And then he'd come to a few of the fights, but he'd been there, like, you know, ringside. And I remember there was a picture somewhere out the other day where he comes in the changing rooms before the fight and get my hands wrapped. And at the time, you don't realise because you're in the zone, you know, talking to him and stuff. But there's a picture there where I look back and I think a bit proud because I think that was our captain, and you know, he come to watch us and.
Great life.
And that was it. And but he's not bad, Wayne. Yeah, he can box a bit, and obviously I'm not.
He can box a bit. But you know, and I know, Bardsley blasted him.
There was, I think there was messing about.
There was a thing you wanted after the Tottenham, when we scored against Tottenham, when it had come out
yes,
on the play when he done the thing, and that's what, you know what I mean, the video shouldn't have been released, someone released it. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah,
it's a bit of fun, he took it well.
Did he enjoy his boxing as a lad?
Yeah, he did. Like I said, his younger brother was a good. I remember him actually. He was only a schoolboy in that, but he was a good boxer. His brother.
What's your relationship? You're a man.
Just like,
no, but you're a man.
Oh yeah.
You're a man.
No, but listen, I'm not gonna say.
No, when you come across these Scouse boxers and all that, mate, you know what I mean? You know, is there any banter? Is there any?
Oh, of course there is. Of course there is. But obviously, like with Wayne, I can't like say, you know, but whenever I see him and stuff like that, we talk. But I can't say, oh, we'll ring each other for a chat or anything like that. I never ever pretend to be like that. But I'm always really thankful for what he supported me, you know, through it, and I'll always be very thankful for that.
We as United fans, and like I've had some of your career. I've not been through your career because I'm not one for round the ring, mate. Because I hate seeing someone who I know get it in the face, and when you know, like, it pains me to see someone who I know suffering pain. And when you said earlier on that you enjoyed being smashed in the nose when you was going home, people out there would be thinking, that's sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like you just said then, I'm more nervous when, watching a friend fight. You know, watching a mate fight, I'm more nervous. When my little brother used to box, I'd be so nervous for that because you're not in control of it, are you? Do you know what I mean? When you're not in control of someone or someone, it makes you nervous.
Well, I got thinking about going to one of your fights. I mean, there's a few times been to the United games, and you timed it so we could all go. Like, you know what I mean? United would be playing and all that, but there was one game like when it was Watford. We played at Watford. You was boxing here, and it was like, hang on a minute. Watford's 12 o'clock kickoff.
Yes.
Right? Your fight's not till later on. So you're talking most people who will go to boxing and go to the game as well, right, down to Watford, 6 o'clock in the morning they're up. Right? Well, you know, I know what happens. It's like, once you're on the coach, you're on the train, you're there, you're having a few beers and that. Well, let me tell you, coming back, right, to that fight that night, I forget, I think it was the title fight. I was like that at 4 o'clock, right? Not even back in Manchester yet. Just about to get into Manchester. And I was thinking, got to go home. And I was thinking, because I'd forgotten, everyone's enjoying themselves and all that. And all that. And it's like, whoa, hang on a minute. Got to go to the boxing. Well, I tell you what, the crowd, everything, you know what I mean? But I was nervous, right? And I was having a drink and whatever, but I was nervous thinking, Jesus, you know, he's going to get it, like, you know what I mean? He's going to give it, he's going to get it. And that's how I always felt when I went to your fight. I mean, I remember sneaking on to one of your front row. I actually pushed your missus out of the way, like, but not pushed her, like, edged her out the seat because we'd sneaked on the front row.
I remember looking round, seeing you there, mate, honestly, no lie.
I was with what's name, the dancing doorman and Gilly, like, and we'd sneaked on the front row, like, you know what I mean? And was like, we was gone, you know what I mean? Like,
it was.
And I remember looking up at you, like, going, come on.
I remember it, honestly, mate. I remember it.
Then I watched. And it was watching someone fight.
It's hard. Like, it's an hard watch.
Obviously, I'd seen that before and that, but to be right on the front. And it's going back like when you was a kid. I keep going back to it because enjoying it. It doesn't sound right, and it hurts to see someone do that. You know what I mean?
It's mad, like
your mother.
My mum can't. My mum can't watch it. My mum, it's mad. She's a big boxing fan, but you know, she can't be anywhere near and she got worse as the career went on. It got worse for her, where, you know, she couldn't watch it, and then she couldn't, you know, for a day before she'd be nervous, the week before she'd be nervous. It'd just go on, and when I think, like, I'm like, Mum, it's all right, listen, it's just my job and stuff like that. But that's one thing now I've retired, that I'm glad she don't have to go through it no more, because she genuinely, she used to knock us sick with worry, do you know what I mean? But she's a massive boxing fan, it's mad.
Just going, obviously, looking through your career, and obviously followed you through with the likes of all the other young kids coming up in Manchester. Manchester was the hotbed of boxing. We had loads about, and then obviously the accident, what stopped you, you know? And everyone was gutted for you, and, you know, it wasn't like, everyone felt like he was your brother. You know, everyone was, Ant Crolla's got a title fight, and then it all crashed down. But to be there on the night you won it, mate, you know, and I've taped it and I've watched it again. And what sums it up for me, now, I'll never be world champion. Tony will never be world champion, but what was it like? And I always remember listening to the commentator, and he says, this couldn't happen to this has happened to the most nicest person in the world. And it was unbelievable. What was it like that night to be?
Do you know, that night there, it made all the sacrifices worth it. You sort of see after it, and you know what it meant to me. But it wasn't just the 10 weeks training camp. It wasn't since the accident. It wasn't since throughout my professional career. It was like every sacrifice even like, I'm not just saying it, but you know when you was at school and not going to the match when you had to be up early the next morning and all that, then it become worth it to achieve that. I always say it like, there's very few people in life who get a chance to achieve, you know, the dreams, and that night I did. That night I did, and I thought
that I can get, and going on in life. Yeah. You've now got another dream. Yes. You've now got something else, a dedication to look forward to. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I wish you the greatest success in achieving your next stage in life. You know what I mean?
This is the end of part one. I hope you like the first part. Coming soon will be more talk with Anthony Crolla on Manchester United and football and his boxing career.
Very fascinating insight on a Manchester United fan who happens to be a sporting hero.